Hello and welcome everyone, this is Rufus Shinra from the Shinra Corporation, coming back today with a special Raid Shadow Legends video, because I will be taking you through a very special account of a friend of mine, TWTV Euwrats, and he will talk to us about his phenomenal progress. You will see more about that during the video. So first of all, welcome Euwrats, how are you, buddy?
Thanks Rufus. Yeah, I'm doing amazing.
Beautiful. You and I know each other for quite a while now, so it's been what, like 3 months, 4 months?
Yeah.
Basically
4 months,
since you started Raid, basically.
Yeah.
Cool. So, well, I want this to be a little bit of a fun interview. So the main topic, of course, will be going through your account and checking your progress. But before that, why don't you let the viewers know a little bit more about you? Give us a short presentation, because you're a content creator mainly for Twitch. So how about that? How did you start Twitch content creation?
I started Twitch, I guess, in summer last year. And I basically just did it for myself. I was just streaming my gameplay. I was playing League of Legends, and yeah, I was just streaming. It was interacting with viewers. Just had lots of fun. I never did it for money. I never did it try to get partner or go further. I just did it because I don't know, I enjoyed it, I guess. That's how I started Twitch.
That's as good a motivation as any, actually. Even better, probably. So you were streaming mainly League of Legends, and then all of a sudden one day you stumbled upon Raid. So how did you discover Raid?
So I got sponsored to play a Raid. One of the sponsors DM'd me and asked me, would you be interested in playing the game for 2 hours, and we'll pay you, you know, for that 2 hours. I mean, I've seen the game before on the on lots of ads, but the thing was, it was so different. The gameplay between League of Legends and Raid Shadow Legends is completely different. So I never thought I would play it.
Yeah, so the thing is, League of Legends, I assume it's pretty stressful, it's reaction based, it's also a game where you need to constantly strategize and communicate with your teammates, whereas Raid is more laid back. It's more of a thinking game, I would say, more of a planning game.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. And with that out of the way, so of course we will be putting all your links down in the description, because I've seen that you've just recently started putting up some YouTube videos, and you're progressing pretty well. So we'll shout you out, of course, with that, as well as your Twitch channel. And now the thing is, why I wanted to do this interview with you is that, man, one thing about your account, we can't say that you haven't been progressing, can we? So here we're looking at the proof that you have been playing for 127 days. And can you tell us a little bit what you have done in those 127 days as far as your progression in the game goes?
Last month I finished Hard Doom Tower, I got Arbiter, I finished Faction Wars. I don't know. I reached gold in Tag Arena, but then I dropped it because it was just super boring, and I couldn't be asked to play. Okay. So I dropped out that.
Hold on. There's a lot to unpack here. So here I'm showing your faction rules. We'll come back to it. So you've got your Lydia. How long did it take you to get Lydia?
124 days.
124 days. And of course, we're not talking about a free-to-play here. We'll come to that later, but still very impressive. Doom Tower, you finished it which rotation? The last one or the one before? Or?
Yep, last one.
Cool.
And I didn't have Lydia. I luckily got Seer at the end, so I was able to finish the last like the Valk waves. They were super annoying. The Euwrats.
Yeah. And even with Seer, those can be annoying. You need to strategize. You need to reset cooldowns and do stuff like that.
Yeah, of course.
And so, just to sum up, you finished your missions, and you got Arbiter, you finished Faction Wars, you finished Doom Tower Hard, which is supposed to be the hardest content in the game. How about your dungeon situations? So how fast are your dungeons? Just curious.
They are all under a minute.
Okay, so let's just take spider for instance. We have a 13-second spider. We have 55 seconds dragon. 1 minute 15 ice golem. And
I haven't done ice golem yet,
well,
but
you must have done it once or twice at least. But still,
you can do it now.
yeah,
It's,
sure. We'll do something
you
while
put-
we're talking maybe. And we have 49 seconds on Fire Night. So one thing is, people when they hear these numbers, when they hear this performance, they must tell themselves that you're a big spender. You're someone who has spent millions and millions of dollars on the game. How much have you spent, if you can disclose that information?
I've spent like 300.
300.
The most is what I get from being a raid content creator. So I get like a weekly free pack basically.
Yeah, so you get chicken, you get Lego books, and some silver as well.
Silver,
And the
gems,
gems.
energy.
But hey, with all of that, the thing is, it's not a matter of resources or spending. It's a matter of what you did with them and the comps. So taking a look at this comp, for instance, this is a by the book fast farming for Ice Golem comp. Of course, it might have issues. I don't know yet. It might be subject to early wipes, but from the looks of it, it has all the right ingredients. And another thing I remember about your account is that, man, you are one of the luckiest people I know when it comes to shard pulls. Let's backtrack a little bit. When you were just starting out, what was your first starter choice?
So I looked at the 4 champions at the very start of playing the game, and I thought Gaelic was the best looking one, I guess. I liked him the most, so I chose to pick him.
Okay.
The first day I played the game for 2 hours because that was my partnership rules, I guess. I only need to play it for 2 hours, basically. I played the next day a little bit more, just on my free time. And the third day in, I pulled Badel from Ancient Shard.
Okay.
From campaign.
Okay. Can you say that again? Which day did you pull Badel?
The third day.
People will start hating you, but hey. And at that point, you were still completely free to play, right?
Yeah.
Because I
The
remember that.
first couple days, or like the first week or something, I didn't need to. I wasn't really focusing on the game. I guess I didn't expect to play it longer, so I guess there was no need to spend.
Yeah, but growing. So actually, I remember that's actually when we met. You were asking questions on the official Discords. Then I started answering some, and then we got into DMs, and the rest was history. So I remember that even back then, you were not very invested in the game, but you really were asking plenty of questions and trying to understand the mechanics. So where does that kind of mindset come? Is it something that you brought from League of Legends, or are you always like that as a person?
I mean, I feel like if you don't know something, you just ask. It doesn't
Indeed.
matter if someone doesn't know the answer, because at the end of the day, someone will.
Yes. As I always say to people in my community, the only bad questions are the ones you don't ask. Always try to look for information, and eventually you'll find it. So, but again, can you take us a little bit through the rest of your progression? How did it go? When did you really feel that you reached new levels? So, basically, so let's start with the Arbiter missions. What was the first big wall that you hit when you were doing those missions?
I've never hit a wall with Arbiter missions.
Oh,
I had Badel very early on, which made me go to arena. So I started the game on a Monday after a reset. In the same week, I was able to hit Gold 4 with Badel.
yeah, but as you remember,
No,
that
Gold
was
4. I mean Gold 1. Gold 1. My bad.
that was when the so-called bots were everywhere.
Yep. and it was super easy. All I had to do is
Yeah.
make sure I had my tokens always ready. Never leave a 10 out of 10.
Hmm.
Same with energy, I guess, but that's like a free to play mindset, I guess. Never
Yes.
leave your things. Oof.
Yeah, that was to be
Um,
expected. It's okay.
and and that really helped me with arena. The second aspect of the missions was the dungeons. You had to do all dungeons to 20,
Hmm.
which went actually pretty easy, I guess. Because I was able to get Royal Guard on
Hmm.
the first week as
Hmm.
well. That made Spider a lot easier, which
Yes.
usually Spider was like one of the most difficult ones. Uh, Dragon was very easy because I had Badel already.
Hmm.
Uh, Ice Golem just feels really easy because I mean I used like Poisoner, like Badel is again. I used Badel in every dungeon, even Finite. Even though in Finite it was very bad to use Badel, I used him for crit aura. So all my champs were relying on Badel's aura.
The
All my champs,
25%.
yep, all my champs were built for 75% crit rate. So I always had Badel in lead for everything. Everything
Beautiful.
I did, I always had Badel.
So your mindset
Uh,
was battle with his support and stack as much damage as you can on your nukers.
yep, pretty much it. Cause he was healing a lot, so I didn't need lifesteal gear.
Yeah.
He was helping me a lot for Columbus as well.
Hmm.
I could do brutal, which I guess at the time was super good. With just Badal and like Galek and Apo, I was just running a speed team
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
So I had like 5 minutes to do as much damage as I could.
Beautiful. And so that was for the clan boss, for the arena, for the dungeons also. But again, there's also a thing about your pulls, and we'll get to that right after this finite run. Battle was not the only, let's say, good pull or lucky pull that you've got, was it?
I mean, I had Scotosis and was it like within the 2 weeks, I guess.
I think so.
I got, and he was really underwhelming compared to Badal. He had the same kit, kinda. Had around the same kit, but it was just a lot worse compared to Badal.
Indeed. He feels way different role. He can be compared to Badal in the sense that he has also an AoE, but nobody is Badal to be quite frank. But here, when I look at these bulls, I can't help but be jealous, man. Just these two girls, Valkyrie and Duchess. It took me over almost 2 years to get my first one of each. And you come in, you barge in, and you just pull them like that because you want to. What's your secret, brother?
I remember the day I pulled Duchess.
I hated you.
I, I was doing Nightmare Clan Boss back then,
Mm.
and I got the top chest, and I got a Sacred from that. So I decided to pull the Sacred on stream, and I somehow pulled Duchess, and I freaked out. Like, how did this happen?
Beautiful thing, man. And I remember you pulled her before me actually. You pulled her before me, and I pull every single event, and I've been playing since I don't know when. RNG, that's RNG for you, and you still have more Legos, some that you use, some that you don't. Uh,
Uh,
and
yeah.
and another thing, these two guys, for instance, if Saffron Man saw them, he would jump through the window because he still can't pull just one man eater to save his life. I think he has one maybe, but he can't yet build an unkillable. I assume you already built your unkillable, correct, for Clan Boss?
I have Batman Salad Eater.
Oh, beautiful. So big numbers. How much damage are we talking?
It's between 82 and 88
Cool.
per
Great.
key on Ultra Nightmare.
Great numbers. Great numbers. And yeah, you don't have a Draco, so you're using probably Fane for as your DPS.
Yep.
Cool. All right, so I saw you went for Astralon. What were the fusions that happened when you were playing, and which ones did you go for besides Astralon?
So my first fusion was Pixnail.
I,
I didn't go for Pixnail.
my condolences. Okay, wise choice, I would say. You didn't miss out on a lot, unless they buff her. I don't know.
So when the Pixnail fusion, so I know it's very account dependent,
Yes.
and I mean I saw 16 books to be like somewhat, I mean, usable, I guess, borderline.
Mm.
And I like the Ragnar a lot more, especially for dwarf faction. Spider, the defense down weaken was super appealing. So I just went for Ragnar instead.
Ragnar Gold Gleam. Yeah, he was one of the epics required for Pixnail, and wise choice actually. Yeah, his is a pretty solid champion for dungeon progression and for weakening defense down in general. Cool stuff, man. And here, if I would ask you, what are your favorite champions, or what is your favorite champions if you have just one?
Right now, Lydia.
Hey, I can't agree with that. I saw how you geared her before. Actually, she's a beautifully geared champion. Look at this. We're looking at. Let me pull up the stats. So 292 speed. This is, I presume, for the Fire Knight farming comp.
Yep.
359 resistance, 388 accuracy. This is for Doom Tower, and pretty decent HP at 40k. So, and good defense. Yeah, very well built. Are you using her anywhere besides Doom Tower and Fire Knight?
I mean, I just farm bot teams in Gold 4,
Okay, good enough.
and I guess Faction Wars, but in Faction Wars you can pretty much use anything.
Yeah, which brings me to that topic, to the topic of faction wars. So that even after the nerf, that's still a challenge, and everybody needs a pretty large roster. So how did you go about faction wars? Was there any faction that was particularly difficult for you to finish?
I guess. I mean, it really depends, because what you mean by hard? Because if you 6-star champs and give them masteries, give them some gear, you'll be
Yeah.
able to finish any faction.
Yeah, the thing is, if that is your approach, you will have certainly little to no challenge in most factions. But there are some factions, like I would say the level 21 of Undead Hordes, if you don't have a reviver, or even dwarves, if you don't have the proper tanks or reviver for the last level. So bosses like that, the ones that ignore defense and that have unremitting, what's that ability called? The one that boosts their speed.
Mirror.
No, not mirror.
that one.
No, the one that boosts their speed depending on the damage. So these factions generally need a reviver. They can be done without one. But, so did you have a reviver, for instance, for Undead Hordes? A gold grab?
Yes, I pulled at the very end
Okay.
when I was getting to 21.
Okay. Again, with that legendary
But
luck. Clutch pull.
I was using. So I had to, because of Valks. It was like 3 Valks.
Yeah.
It was a stupid wave, and so I had to put my Badel in a stun set and Scoutosis in a stun set
Yes.
to actually go through it. It was so annoying at the beginning, but Golgrim made things a lot easier. I was using
Golgor is-
Frozen Banshee and Grave Chill, and then Scatosis, Badal, and the last one would be Golgrub.
You know, this is actually my exact team for this level. Except that I switched out Scatoses with Rotos. And I advise you to invest in this guy. They nerfed him, right? But he's still really, really good. Even in Arena. So
Yeah.
don't sleep on him.
I feel like he's only good for Arena though.
No. Trust me. Even in dungeons, he's slow-ish. But there are parts of the content that he can do better than other characters. He's basically still one of the best single-target nukers in the game. So for instance, here I'm doing Faction Wars 21 in like 2 minutes, 1 minute 30, with this team, basically. Yeah, I think it's exactly this team. Yeah, so maybe the missing piece will be Rotos here, Because Mashalad can control the Valks pretty well, but well, we're not talking about faction war strategies anyway. So you said that you were pushing through all the factions, so your strategy was basically to brute force it, put masteries, level 60 everyone, and then go for the faction, right?
Yes, so the way I did it is if a champion need to be 6-starred, I 6-starred him and then I put him in Minotaur. So I would gain
Cool.
XP and also get masteries. So usually, if I need to, like I did with Dwarfs, so I just 6-starred every champion, put 4 champions and Badel in Minotaur, put 8k energy, and overnight all of them were level 60, full masteries, and made my Dwarves faction super easy.
Excellent. So you were microwaving your faction wars teams one after the other.
Yep, pretty much.
Beautiful. Yeah, so just to sum up, yeah, you're already level 82, which means that you've been farming a lot. You have been very efficient with your energy use and your gem use, which is also great. One thing we didn't check is your Great Hall. Yeah, well, this figures because you haven't been playing a lot, but still you have maxed out accuracy. You should balance things a little bit more from now on. Go towards crit damage, maybe even consider resistance that and defense. But still, this reflects the fact that you haven't been playing for long, but still pretty solid. I would say that yeah, I don't know if there is a record category for what you've done, but I'm pretty sure there aren't many people who can boast the same thing, especially with the same amount of money and resources spent. So again, level 127, completed Faction Wars, completed the Arbiter missions, completed Doom Tower on hard, and plays around in gold for as long as he wants, plus farms Ultra Nightmare, 1 key on the daily. Did I miss anything, Euwrats?
I don't think so. I mean, I got a lot of help. You have to understand. I got lots of help from you, from Mr. Tam, from Besmir, from Raid Rush, from Cody, a guy on Discord. I don't know if you know him. You probably
L
know
Cody
him.
J, I think.
Yeah, El Cody J.
Hey,
And I just received so much help. Because the faction was, as a new player, you don't know what
yes,
champions are good. You don't know what champions are worth to 6-star.
true.
And you need that little help to, like that little guiding to show you, oh, this champion is really good because it provides crowd control, for example.
Hmm.
Yes, I looked at different tier lists, but the thing with tier lists is it's not very account dependent.
Yeah, they don't come with a lot of context, and champions change a lot depending on who you have.
Yeah, so for example, I was looking at some tier list and I saw Nama being very insane in arena, but I know that she only has single target poison attacks, which is like she's really good for like counter attack CB, I guess.
Yeah,
But she is definitely not good in arena.
I do agree. Norma is by no means an arena champion, unless you were talking about bronze arena or maybe low silver, but she wouldn't be typically considered an arena champion.
But yeah, I wouldn't recommend personally tier lists.
Hmm.
Um, it's because there's lots of misdirection with it, and like at the early game especially,
Hmm.
when you just pull one Lego and you realize, oh, on the tier list it's ranked 2 out of 10 stars or something like that, for
Uh,
example. Basically a bad legendary.
and
Every
you,
legendary is insanely good for early game player.
for sure. And here, the fact that you mentioned tier lists is because you're coming from League of Legends, where tier lists are somewhat of a big deal there. Am I correct?
Yeah. So it's all based of meta.
Hmm.
So what's meta, what's the strongest at the moment? So if a champion, for example, like in this game, if a champion like Rotus is really strong, he's gonna be ranked very high and basically he's gonna carry you all the way through.
Yeah.
But the difference between League and this game is synergy in this game matters a lot more
Yes.
by far. You can't put 5 defense down champions and think that you will like beat the level easily, because at the end of the day you might not have damage or healers or revivers.
Absolutely. So actually, here my opinion on the tier list issue is that tier list can be very, very helpful for 1v1 games, League of Legends, for instance, but more importantly, fighting games. That's where you have one character facing one other character from the opponent. There, a tier list makes sense because you can immediately compare the strengths and weaknesses of one character compared to another. And if you choose a highly ranked character, it means that they have less weaknesses and more tools to help you win. When it comes to Raid, the best example of a tier list that could be applicable to Raid is stuff that I've seen in a website for Marvel Strike Force, which is another gacha. I don't play it, but I just saw those tier lists. I think I'll put them in post-prod, in edit, just to illustrate the point. They have tier lists, but tier lists for different teams. This team composed of these 5 characters can do well here, here, and there, and can beat all these typical teams. So, based on the meta that's going on, there are preset teams that can do better than others. For instance, in Raid, we could talk about specific roles. The one of the most commonly used offenses is double boosters into stripper into nuker, and for this kind of preset team we can define what are the best combinations, and then we could put a tier list, but tiers the whole team will be in a tier, not a single character. So with that I completely agree.
Yeah, you explained that really well.
All right. Okay, so we're coming to the end of the video. First of all, I would like to really thank you, Euwrats, for your time. This was very interesting. As final words, just do you have any advice for people who are looking to progress quickly in this game, who have access, who are willing to spend a little, or who are free to play? What could they learn from your own experience?
Never buy gems on your own. So like the gem packs, like the $100 for 5k gems, those are really bad in my opinion. Cause the thing is, with gems, if you buy gems like straight, only gems, usually you want to spend it on things that only require gems. So for example, champion slots become cheaper with gems at around 150. 150 plus. Also for like arena refills, you can use gems, I guess, but even then you might as well just wait.
All right, so buy gems is number one.
Don't buy gems. Don't buy gems on its own. It's a lot more efficient to buy chickens. Energy is always good. If you can, try to level champs while you do your dungeons, that would be super nice. And regarding chickens, always try to level up your champions to 6-star, because at the end of the day, the most common thing between all the endgame players is everyone has bunch of level 60s. And the reason to that is what I realized, that level 60 and masteries is the biggest boost you will get with the like least cost. It's like the most efficient way of getting a champion a lot stronger is getting masteries on them and getting them to level 60. And to be honest, you can never have enough level 60s because you'll try different comps, different champions need to be used in different contents. For example, faction wars, you will have 13 different teams for each faction, and it's going to be, I guess, really complicated. And obviously you'll need to 6-star at least one champion per faction. That's the bottom line.
Beautiful.
You won't clear a faction without a level 60, I'm pretty sure, unless you have cracking gear. But but then you'd be finished with faction wars anyway.
True. So faction wars. I think that some can be done at level 50, but as you mentioned, they would need pretty high end gear to be done with the proper champions. So
last regards, I would say if you need help, just maybe I wouldn't really advise ask on Discord because you don't know who you're talking to. If you maybe ask them for their account, maybe ask them to show you what champs they have, what level they are, so you know they are, I guess, a high level player. Because the way I discovered someone like LL, Cody J, and Rufus, I asked them beforehand, what level are they, what type of champs they have, so I know I'm not asking a new player, because new player can give you wrong advice because they don't know really themselves. Otherwise, I would go for Twitch. Twitch is really helpful place. It helps, like, you can easily know when someone is good, because they'll have lots of legendary champions. For example, they'll have like times at the bottom of their Twitch, which say like, oh, my Fire Knight run is 30 seconds, for example. Dragon is 45, things like this, which is, I guess, a lot more high chance that they are good compared to someone that is random on Discord.
Yeah, I would agree on that point, but just a little comment. Having lots of legendaries don't make you typically good.
Yes, I agree, but
they help. But if you have them, of course, you can do much more than if you don't.
It's just you're more towards endgame player, in my opinion.
Yeah. It means that you've been around for longer. You've have the chance to crack more shards, and you've been more successful, let's say, at gathering resources, whichever way you did to gather those resources and use them.
Of course.
All right, so I think this wraps up today's interview with Euwrats. Euwrats, so what are you working on these days as far as content creation, and where can people catch you?
I mean, usually I stream. I mean, yesterday I streamed Rocket League. I played Overwatch for a bit. I don't know why, but I just felt like it. Mostly I play League of Legends. Sometimes Raid. I like Raid as a relaxing game because League is just that stressful. So that's why I play Raid.
Beautiful. So your Raid is your game in spa, we would say.
Yeah, definitely. And League of Legends is like the roller coaster.
Real cool. So I'll put your Twitch link down below, as well as your YouTube. People, go check Euwrats if you like League of Legends or if you like Raid or both. Give him a follow and a subscription. And thank you for following. I hope you like this kind of content, and we will be seeing you in a next video. Cheers, Euwrats.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.